Hi everyone, and welcome to the PM100 Foundations of Project Management Introduction class. My name is Dr. Darajat Tasamma, and today we will be discussing on the history and evolution of project management, and we'll also discuss why project management is now surging as one of the professions, but where many people are trying to get into that field, and also many organizations trying to apply the principles and logics of project management. But before we go there, let me talk a little bit about the history. And project management is not a new discipline. It has been there since since the time of the Egyptian development and the China Wall, and in all of those major undertakings in the last 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years. But the logic is that during this time it was not treated as a profession. It's something which you do it and then you don't know how to explain it. So. But up until 1950s, that the concept of project management was still vague. And if you see these slides, the project management started in 2570 BC, where the Great Pyramid of Giza completed, goes to the 208 BC, and then also other activities. And then in 1969, that is where the modern project management getting some attentions, because five people they got together and then they founded what we call it now Project Management Institute. And the PMI was developed by 5 individuals as a way to share their experience, and as a way to find out that why many projects fail, and then what are the standards and then the policies to apply with them. Now, PMI is the world leading non-profit professionals member associations for projects, program, and portfolio management. And it's by far the fastest growing certifications in the industry. And it's also delivers value for more than 2.9 million professionals working nearly in every country in the world through collaboration, education, and then research. So this is a discipline that covers across the industry. It doesn't matter whether you are in the defense industry or in the construction industry or in the healthcare or in research or in IT, everybody speaks the same language, and that language is project management. And as of 2016, 651,000 PMPs are registered, and then they took their exam and they passed. And then also, almost half of them are from outside the United States. So that means that this is a profession where it has a wide acceptance from all over the place. So I'm sure that's one of the reasons why you are also interested to take this online and then this on-ground class, because the industry is looking for that type of qualifications. So this is a snapshot of the data from the PMI page, and then they're saying that it's 195 countries are using some form of project management professional principles, and then there are chapters involved in that. At the same time, there are nearly 17,000 students are taking some forms of project management classes, from the PMI accredited college and universities, taught by close to 1,000 professors. And there are 5,200 students are graduating every year. So this is one big discipline, and this is a discipline that is growing by day. And also people ask that why is it's that important, because number one, the profession is challenging, and at the same time the profession is also rewarding. If you see here the salary survey for the PMI for the PMPs in 2015, I'm not sure if you can see here, but Switzerland is paying almost $130,000 a year. Australia paying 108,000. United States they're paying 108,000, and in the UK it's 92,000. New Zealand, you go all the way down, and it's a rewarding and it's a very prestigious discipline where PMI and PMPs are really looking or probably searching by many organizations. So that's the salary survey from PMI. So that means this is a discipline that is really on the rise. Okay, and also I put together the top five reasons why it's important to earn a PMI certification. So this is a document that was published by PMI, and the first one is credibility. Means that these certifications provides unbiased and reliable means to validate your domain knowledge in project management. So if you are a PMP, then you have a credential, and then you are credible. Or if you know the logic and then the principles of project management. The second one is transferability. Means that the PMI certification is not tied to one specific methodology. You can use the agile methodology, you can use the traditional waterfall methodology, you can use different types of methodology in your discipline. You can still apply that project management logic so that everybody understands what you are talking about. The other one is competitive advantage, because you'll be more marketable, because many certifications holders achieve and salary increase, career advancement, and opportunities, because now many of the government institutions actually require that anybody working on that project, as a project lead, should have some sort of certifications. In terms of that certifications could be a PMP, or it could be some other equivalent, or Six Sigma, or other principles. And also the commitment. That means that if you are in that discipline, remember, you are a leader. You manage a project, and you may manage more than 100 and 200, 300 people in your project. And that means that it's a commitment for you to make sure that you manage your people, you manage your resource, and then you also manage, after all, the expectations of your stakeholders, because oftentimes those projects are not completely fulfill customers' expectations. And of course, relevances. That means that the certifications demonstrates the relevance of a profession where you can sell your resume, or you can actually make yourself marketable, because that profession is relevant to every other disciplines or domain across the board. These are the certification path, which I'm not going through that. There is a PMP. That's probably the most popular one, because PMI has quite a lot of certifications, but PMP is the basic one. And also there is one they try to deploy. It's called PGMP. It's just like program management professional, and some call it a PhD of project management. And for this discipline certifications, not only that you need to have your experience, but you need to also demonstrate that. So that's kind of a little bit ahead of the curve, but PMP is where most people are taking. And then the new one is the Agile Project Management Certified Agile Practitioner. That's another fastest growing certifications where project managers are being trained using Agile development and then Agile principles. All right, so now, why do organizations push for project management principle? I think the answer to that is in the last 10 years, there have been a lot of research done on why those projects failed, and one of the research that stood out was the Standish Chaos report that said that 66% of projects fail. So 66 means that almost 2 in every 3 projects fail. When I say fail, it doesn't necessarily that the project was cut or killed prematurely. But what I'm saying is that either that project missed the cost, or missed the standard quality, or delivered over time, or missed the whole customer expectations. So when organizations start seeing that as an issue, then the leadership team start putting together a means of improving the success rate of those projects. So that's why when you see here that 66% of projects failed, and that triggered management response to see, okay, let's just go back and then review why all those projects failed. Which, by the way, we're going to discuss each one of those reasons from that research in the following 13 units in the in this course. Of course, the reason why organization push for PM is for better control of financial, physical, and then human resources. Remember, the old day of writing a blank check is gone. The organization started, seeing a different means of saving their resources, and good chunk of their budget goes to those projects. And then if they see that those projects are failing, then they kind of are questioning that. Okay, how can we make that differently? Of course, improve customer relationship, because remember, back then, the PMI was relying only on the triple constraint, but now they realize that not only that you complete your project on time with good quality and with less cost, but also you need to have approval from your customers, and that those customers need to get on board from day one to make sure that what they want is what you're going to build. Of course, there is a shorter development time needed. We need to lower costs, and then they also want to have a higher quality and then increase the reliability. It goes on and on. But the key point is that the reason why project management discipline is going up is because of avoiding those failures, and those failures are in some way are really catastrophic. Okay, so this is the PMI outline for this unit. Means that what is the project, the relationship, and then the project management. So this is and the relationship between project management and other organizational strategy, the role of project manager. So if you are following the PMBOK, which is the project management body of knowledge developed by PMI, these are the topics within this unit. But what I'm going to do is I'll just bring and then mix different information from different sources, so that you will have a broader understanding of what it means to manage a project, not only following the PMBOK, but also the industry standards, some benchmarks, some lessons learned from the previous project. At the same time, personal experience of managing those major projects for 15 years. So, so this is the outline. Okay, so now let's go to the fun part. Okay, so what is a project? I asked this to several of my students, and I got a mixed answer. How do you define projects? Some says that it's a task. Some say it's kind of a product-oriented activities, and then others say that it's something that is planned and has a beginnings and an end. So the official project management definition from PMI is that it is a temporary endeavor to produce goods and services. Means that it's a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product or services or results. Okay, it's also be defined as a complex, non-routine, a one-time, because there are a couple of qualifications for a project to be called as a project, and one of them is that it's a one-time effort limited by time, budget, resource, and performance specifications designed to meet customer needs. So this is kind of the broader definition and understanding of project management. Now, you may have a different type of projects in construction industry, in hospitality, in education, in higher research, but all of these projects have one certain characteristics in common, and those common characteristics are they have established objectives. Of course, you don't start a project without having an objective. They have a defined lifespan with a beginning and then an end. Okay, and then they requires across the organizational participation. If you don't get management buy-in, if you don't align your project with your organizational strategy, with your organizational project, your project is doomed to fail. So that's one key point to take away, that it requires across organizational participation. It also involves something never been done before. I was discussing with my student the difference between the project and product. Okay, and oftentimes we confuse the two. And then the project is the very first project undertaken to develop what we call it a product. For example, the first A4 Audi car that was designed in Germany. The first one, it's unique. It has a beginning and an end.